right, mic check. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Thai Life channel. My name is Min Thai, and in this podcast, I would like to share with you the path of getting your manicuring license. Throughout the year, I get a lot of people asking me questions like, how do I become a nail tech? What is the best school to get your nail license? How long does it take? How much does it cost? Is the examination hard? Well, all of that is going to be answered in this podcast for you. But before we start the show, you know how we like to get down. Get it. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and settle down and let's talk about the path of becoming a nail technician. Because I know how overwhelming it can be. Can you imagine getting out of high school and you want to be a nail tech? Where do you start? Can you imagine quitting your 9-to-5 job to become a nail tech? Can you imagine quitting your retail job because you're getting sick and tired of client yelling at you because the price tag is in the wrong place? And now you want to become a nail technician. But where do you start? There's a lot of questions. But today is your day. We're going to make it happen for you. We're going to share with you the path of getting your manicuring license, y'all. So, requirement to become a nail tech in California, you got to have a formal education. What's that supposed to mean? It means you got to have at least a GED or a high school diploma. If you got a college degree, then that's great. If you just graduated from middle school or junior high, you can't apply for beauty school because that is not GED or high school diploma. That's just junior high diploma. That doesn't work, okay? Just so that we can have a clear understanding. Now, you gotta be at least 17 years of age to apply for beauty school, okay? And you gotta complete at least the 10th grade or its equivalent for you to apply for beauty school. So if you are 17 years old, you can start the process. But if you're 15, you can't start the process. And if you're 18 or 19, then you're kind of late. I'm just saying, just trying to make things a little bit clear for y'all at the age where you can apply for beauty school, at least 17. Now, how long does it take for you to finish beauty school? The requirement, accordingly to California Stateboard of Barbering and Cosmetologists, is mandated at 400 to 600 hours. And some of y'all probably taking out your calculator right now, doing the math like how long it's going to take. Well, let me tell you how it works. It all depends on you. If you invest 8 hours a day, then high chance that 400 to 600 hours is going to go by really fast. But if you only investing your days for 1 hour at the school, you're going to have a lot of hours you got to make up. Okay, so for example, when I went to beauty school for my cosmetologist license, I was there from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I tell you what, that's 8 hours a day. I was able to finish beauty school in 6 to 7 months. And that is all depend on you. So to answer that question, if you go put in a lot of hours, you're going to finish fast. So you can finish this whole program in 3 months, to be honest with you. So that's how long it takes. Now, when it comes to picking the school, now there's a lot of different type of beauty school out there, but you got to pick the one that's reputable beauty school where it's assigned to the cosmetologist of Stateboard and where they have their criteria of what service and procedure you need to execute during your 400 to 600 hours to getting your nail license. Now, when it comes to picking the school, you know there's a school that will charge you an arm and a leg. And there's going to be some school who might just charge you an arm. But either way, you're going to be spending some money. See, I don't know about now, but back in the days when I start out my beauty school, because I was low income, school was paid for. Like my whole program, cosmetologist, it's paid for. And the crazy thing is that nowadays, all the people that I'm talking to, they are paying like 10 grand, 20 grand just to go to nail school. So I highly recommend you just pick the school that is affordable to you and you just go from there. The reason why is because the school is going to teach you only to pass your state board test, which on the state board test is mainly about sanitation and the protocol to keep everybody safe in the environment of the nail salon. That's what they're going to test you on. So your skill, like your artwork, your Frenchies, your design, that's all up to you, my friend. That is all up to you. How you want to set your skill level is all up to you. You practice, you make it work. What I highly recommend is this right here, is that when you guys are in school, you guys going to have some free time. Like you guys going to do your procedures, the requirement procedure, but you guys going to have a lot of free time. Practice. I always tell everyone to practice. You know why? Because I didn't do that. I didn't do that when I was in beauty school. I was slacking off. I was turning it up, but I was getting experience through a salon. I'm speaking to y'all who are not working in the salon and y'all are new to the industry. Y'all got to practice. What is fortunate about my circumstances is that I was working in a salon. Now I'm just trying to get my license. So already I got experience. So I was trying to take it easy. But again, I wish I took the time to practice more because nail is an art. It's something you have to develop through time. The school's not going to get you that artistic mentality. You are going to get yourself that. So that is my highly recommendation. That's what you do when you are in beauty school. So it doesn't matter what beauty school you pick. It's all up to you. So pick the one that is suitable to your pocket, okay? Now, the next question is, if school is expensive, is there any type of scholarship or financial aid? Well, again, when I went to beauty school, it was free because I had low income. And that was paid by financial aid. Nowadays, I don't know what the new programs are, but I do have a link. In what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the salonsuccessacademy.com, and they have a link where it tells you about the beauty school scholarship. So I go ahead and add that link to the description so that you guys can search for it. But there are scholarships, but you got to look for it. These stuff doesn't come to you. You have to go and search for it. So go out, Google whatever you need to Google, but look for that scholarship. And when you do have that scholarship in front of you, apply it. Don't wait on it. Don't sit on it. Apply it right away. I need you guys just to get proactive, because if you are not proactive, somebody's going to take that scholarship and you're going to end up losing it, because a little bit helps in the process of getting your manicuring license if you guys are not getting any type of financial help. Okay? So look out for the scholarship. Now, employer's assistant. So if you are somebody who's struggling with financial paying up your tuition, go up to the beauty school and say, hey, is there any part-time job that I can have here to help pay my tuition? I mean, you don't have to say like the way I just said it, but I would say like that because I'm very direct, because I want people to know that I'm in need and I need your help. So you can help work at the school, or my other recommendation is that I had a part-time job. So like I said earlier, I was working at a salon. So that was my way of gas money, paying for expense that I need to pay, because there's going to be expense. You know, you're not just paying for tuition. When you guys are going to school, you're going to end up buying your own polish, acrylic, monomers, files. You guys going to have your own tools, despite what the school give you, because the school is going to give you some generic crap that you might not even want to use, okay? But you're going to build your own brand, your own taste in the product and brand that you like, and you're going to end up spending money. So it's important to have like a part-time job while you're doing this. You know, don't just be like, I'm a student, I go to school full time, and there's a lot of ways. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, there will be time where you got to take out some money in your personal saving and you got a budget. So I highly recommend that if you're not getting a scholarship or any type of financial support, again, a part-time job will help, but be very budgeting. Like, you got to make sure that you have some money to survive and and not put yourself in major debt, because this industry, they don't tell you that once you get your license, that's just the beginning of your career, okay? The school process is nothing. The beginning of your career is very hard, because when you start out, you got no climb. And we're going to get to that topic on the next episode. But right now, we're sticking on the path of getting your manicuring license. So now, do your research, okay, and apply early. That's all I got to say. Do your research and apply early, and always be efficient about everything you do when it comes to picking the right school, and practice, practice, practice. Now, you got the school out of the way. You met your 400 to 600 hours. You about to go take your state board. So now, when you graduate from school, do you just go straight to the state board and take the test? No, you got to apply for it. And this is where you might have to have some money to spend for the application. So here's the first recommendation. Gather your resource. What's that supposed to mean? Your ID, day of birth, your proof of transcription, your proof of school, your proof of finishing all the service that you need to do in school. All of that. You got to have it when you submit your application to go take the state board. So imagine you graduating and there are some document you got to look for, and now you're just delaying on the process of getting your state board, right? The problem about delaying taking the state board is that you're going to lose on time. But the main thing is that whatever you study for, you're going to lose it because it's taking too long to get to the test. So gather your document, have it nice and ready. Now, when you complete the application, this is what I highly recommend, y'all. When you guys are doing any type of application, look over the form like 3 or 4 times, making sure that you didn't misspell anything, you didn't write down the wrong date. Because imagine if you write down the wrong name and your application doesn't match with your ID. I mean, that becomes a whole big problem that you have to deal with. Now is holding you back with more time. Here's the worst part is once you submit something to the Department of State Board and cosmetologists, it takes forever. It would take you months just to get a response from them. And I don't want you to have those kind of delay. So make sure when you guys are doing application, double check everything for error. Now, Nailtech licensing examination. Everybody gets so nervous when it comes to taking tests. I am not a good test taker, my friend. I am one of the worst test taker ever. I can study all night, the night before, the week before, and the moment the test is in front of me, I will second guess a lot of questions, okay? Maybe that's because English is my second language, but I have the same problem as you, and I want you to know that it's okay. What I did was I studied really hard, okay? When I took my examination as a cosmetologist license back in year 2003, I had to take a theory and a practical. A practical is where you go into a big old room. You got one judge. You got 6 people who taking the practical test, and you look at your appointment books, and then you go down and you see whatever appointment you got to do that procedure, and you got to execute that procedure really well. After you finish your practical, you go take your theory. The test process can take you a whole day. I got to get up very early in the morning around 4 to drive to Fairfield. I did all of that. Guess what? The first time I took the test, I fell is because it was on me. I was turning it up the night before. I didn't study. I just take it for granted. I fell. So what I did was the second time, I took it very seriously. I studied very hard. I passed both practical and theory. According to what I understand now is that you don't have to take the practical anymore. There's no such thing as bringing a model. Back in the day, we got to bring a model to take a test. You don't even have to do that now. I believe that you just have to take your theory, and you also can take your theory within your local town. Before, we had to drive to Fairfield or Los Angeles. Now, you can take it within your location. So I don't know where you're from, but go ahead, do your research so that you can really don't waste that much time driving for your test. And in the test, when it comes to the theory, the main thing that you're going to ask you is sanitation, and safety protocol. Okay, they're not going to ask you the steps of how to do a manicure, the steps of acrylic application, or what is a primer. No, they're going to ask you how to clean the tools correctly, how you sanitize the tools with the barbicide, the liquid. You got to know your chemicals. It is important because they want to make sure that you work in a safe environment so that you can protect yourself and your client. So it is important that we really focus and study about the sanitation and the safety protocols. That's really the main thing. All right, so next is, even if you pass a test, always make sure to have some kind of money in your wallet, because you might end up paying for a licensing or, background check, all of that. I mean, just always have some kind of money, and always make sure to follow up once you pass the test. Follow up when you're getting your license, when is it shipped to you. And also remember, stay up to date with the Stateboard. They always changing. They always have new rules, new updates. Since COVID, you don't have to pay for your license. Before, every 2 years, you got to renew them for $50. And you don't want to miss the renewal date, guys, because that will, again, waste your time, backfire on you. The best way is be efficient, be up to date. And that, my friend, is how you get your manicuring license, okay? You get your formal education. You got to be at least 17 and older. You go pick a perfect school. You work on your financial aid scholarship. After you finish school, you apply for the testing. And after you test, you are ready to go out and be the Nailtech you want to be, that you dream about, because that is how simple it is, guys. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope you guys like what you guys heard. I hope this will help you clear out the path easier to get you that manicuring license to become that nail technician that you want to be. But as you all know, before we end the show, we got to end it the right way. Get it. Get it. Thank you so much, y'all, for listening to this podcast. Till next time, we're going to have some more fun, and I'll see you next time.